Man, this deeper roots coffee is so good. Well, guys, we have a special announcement to make to you. We are now popular.
Our life can now start.
Okay, so we have 20,000 subscribers, or subs, as we on the inside YouTube thing like to call them. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
First off, I found this little graph, which is kind of cool. So we started making our videos September of 2015. Guess what? We have made, it says right here on this little graphic thing, 834 videos we've uploaded to YouTube, which represents a lot of work.
Yeah,
so that's what, three and a half years.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us 31 months to get to our first 10,000 subscribers, which we did in April 2018. The last 10,000 subscribers right here were in the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
For a long time, we just made videos. And
had very little growth to show for it.
And ironically, those were the videos that were the hardest. They took the longest. I mean, sometimes I would spend 8 hours a day.
Because you were learning everything.
I was learning editing.
Yeah.
I was like neurotic about how long the videos needed to be. I wanted every one of them to be under 12 minutes. And,
yeah, that's crazy.
And I look at them and they actually like feel really terrible to me now.
But they're what got you to where you're at today. So
Yeah.
they're important.
This isn't about, the whole first part was a joke, obviously. Like, we don't view ourselves as having made it. This wasn't even a goal of ours.
I think a goal was to grow somewhat, which I think is like arbitrary.
Yeah.
I've heard YouTubers say, I want to get 10,000 subscribers in the next month. I never really found that helpful for me to have that goal because growth wasn't the most important thing for us, but it was a thing.
I think we saw growth as a byproduct.
Yeah.
I think deep down, I felt like if we made good videos, then the channel would grow. Those birds are so freaking loud. Hey!
I think growth is an indicator of healthy, valuable, something worthwhile, but that's all it is, just an indicator, and has never been the most important thing to us. I've struggled with it being too important, where I would, for a long time, just look at the numbers, and based on the numbers would make me feel a certain way, like, oh, I guess we're doing something good, or we're successful, or this or that. And more recently, I decided I'm just not even gonna worry about it, or I'm gonna even try not to check it that often. And today I just thought, I think there's a balance. There's a really fine line between caring too much about growth and then not caring at all. I think it's important to care somewhat, but to not let it completely take over.
I don't think I ever really got that excited by growing subscriber numbers or huge video view counts. But I did get impacted by low view counts. Like in the beginning, especially when our videos were getting like a 100, 200 views, and I'm putting 8 hours in.
Yeah.
I'm just like wondering, like, is this worth it? Like, how do you know if it's worth it? When do you throw in the towel?
Like it would really mess with your head.
Yeah, well, it's hard to know, like, how much of this do we do for ourselves and how much of this do we do for basically people, most of which we've never met before.
Mm-hmm.
And just because a lot of people watch it, like some of our videos get a ton of views, but for what I consider like not the best reasons, like they just show up, like the nudist resort ones. Those got thousands of views, you know, like our podcast. But then it's like people that are just like clicking because they see the word nude and they don't want to talk or listen or think. But then some of our views that got not many views, maybe one person watches it and their whole life has changed.
Those other things, the numbers, the subscribers, matter. But when it all comes down to it, are we doing what we feel we're made to do? Are we doing what we're passionate about? Is this still working for us? Is the questions that I think really matter. To some degree, we'll never know how much impact or value we give to someone else.
Yeah.
But if we're feeling like we're doing what we were made to do or what brings us life, then I think it is valuable.
So what I think is super exciting was there's been some videos in this last week. You know, one of the most recent ones that we did a reaction on, I think where you were sharing about makeup sex. There's so many comments that were like, I just felt like they were vibing with us. And they were saying, oh, this is what I'm looking for and this is helpful to me. Now in the beginning, sometimes we would get like 5 comments. And maybe once a week, I would get a comment from someone that I felt like was like our people that valued the same things we valued or were valuing what we were learning. And everyone else was just there because it was kind of just like entertainment. And I don't get a lot of energy from just creating entertainment. So it was so like discouraging. It was so lonely feeling in the beginning. And what's happened over the years is with 20,000 subscribers, I have the feeling that maybe there's 100 or 200 people out there that are like totally vibing with us now and like kind of like our people that make us not feel lonely.
Or batshit crazy.
Yeah, but that's been like hard earned because we make all these videos and maybe we get like 100 new people a month and maybe one of those or 2 of those people are people that we feel, you know, and it's like, it's all kind of relative. It's just through the comment section and stuff, but I can tell.
We feel some kind of connection with, and they feel some kind of connection with us.
Yeah. And in that way, 20,000 subscribers is a huge celebration because looking at some of our videos recently that have some of our more maybe like controversial or abstract perspectives, it's been so cool to see people coming out of the woodwork and being like, oh wow, like I thought we were alone and we're not. So 20,000 subscribers means that to me now.
Yeah.
It means like faith in community and knowing that there's not everyone is satisfied with like the normal family vlogs or the prank channels or the religious prescriptive, you know, ways of just telling people what to do. I did want to talk about, it's not all fun. There's to me a bit of a sadness that's happening. Like I'm starting to feel a bit like a little bit of anxiety.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like overwhelmed. Like I feel like I need to reevaluate myself and why am I doing what I'm doing? I feel this need to respond to everyone, and it's starting to get a bit unmanageable for me.
Like our evolution with comments was the first year, it was like, oh, we got a comment. We'd respond, and it was like the needy boyfriend that's like scratching at the door. It's like, oh, leave another comment, please.
Yeah.
And then I would say the next year or 2 was like, it was pretty like, maybe, but we took it for granted,
steady.
but we could definitely address everyone personally, like each one was a unique snowflake. And now it's getting to a point where it's like, there's always new comments, like
it's your Instagram feed.
Like
you
every
can refresh it. I mean, it's not quite
2
that
minutes,
bad,
there's
but
like a
it's
new
close.
comment. And I struggle because I still believe that every comment represents a person that's a potential conversation that I want to value.
They're still a unique snowflake.
They're still a unique snowflake.
Even if we can't heart your comment.
And I have it in my head that C.S. Lewis and I think Mr. Rogers like responded to every piece of mail that they got, which I think that meant they would have hearted every comment. I don't feel like we can do that. Give it the attention at least that I want to.
We can still do that, but I think someday we're not.
And I sense that there's a little bit of like mourning our size from some of the people that have been around for a lot of years because they dealt with all the videos and And before the Appalachian Trail, you know, that brought in a whole influx of new people. And I guess the thing that I want to say to the people that have been here for a long time is, we're really glad you're here. We haven't forgotten about you, and we appreciate that. But I feel like it's important for me to remember that growth is always natural, and whatever we're moving to as a channel is better than where we've come from. And that's hard sometimes. It's like you're growing out of, we're growing out of the nest, and the type of relationship we had or the communication we had might not be possible. But I hope and I believe that whatever is next is actually going to be better. I hope that there's not this vibe where it's like, oh, you guys are sellouts because you're big and you used to talk to me. And, I don't want to be the bottleneck here. Like, we don't want to be rock stars. But we want to create a community where now, instead of just being able to talk to us, maybe you can meet other people in the comments or on the Facebook group. I mean, my vision for the Facebook group, the private discussion group at least, is that I wouldn't be the one starting discussions, that you guys would be able to start them with each other. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of what we're doing our part with the vlog, and hey, you're like, here, we'll start the conversation. Now you guys take it and meet cool people in your state, in your neighborhood that can, that have at least some common interests. It's challenging moving to that next phase just mentally for me, which kind of leads to the question like, okay, the future, how do we see it? I'm more excited about the Fight for Together vlog and podcast than ever.
I'm excited.
Where's...
Okay, I'm just gonna have him come down. Hey.
I've seen a lot of religious or moral-based family podcasts that are they all feel the same to me, where they're showing people a specific way to live, whether it be through coupon clipping or meal preparation or homeschooling or religious beliefs. But what I'm really excited about is showing people a different way to see the world, a different way to see people, a different way to see your enemy, the haters, a different way to see your children and even yourself. So we're going to keep on making videos and podcasts that show you guys our life, in the hopes that it introduces kind of a new way to see things, a way that's really changed our life. I think the final thing I want to talk about, because I saw this on this page, is the finances, which is kind of funny. We don't talk about that very often.
Nope, not right now.
Oh, by the way, did you see our thing got a B- grade? You seemed like kind of concerned about that.
No, I just found it funny. I felt like I was back in school. Teacher, can I do some extra credit just so I can bump it up to a B? No, you suck.
It says estimated monthly earnings is $135 to $2.2K. So this is assuming that we had advertisements enabled on our vlog, which we do not, and we've never done sponsorships, and we've never done any of that stuff. And the reason why is because it's more helpful for us to not have that as a distraction when we're thinking about content. So I don't mind monetizing things in general. Like, I think we're gonna sell our book, and I don't know. I guess that's the only idea I have right now. But we're so happy just to be able to do this, because we feel like we've been really fortunate and can do it. We have both the means, like the computers and the editing equipment, and we have the passion and the message and the experience to have something we feel like we want to share. Okay, so sorry, things are really distracting around here. This video's a little bit disjointed, but I think the amount of money that this vlog has made is maybe a total of around 2,000 bucks over the course of 3 years, which from one perspective doesn't seem like much. Like, it's definitely not a money maker for us in terms of like an income source. But every single one of those dollars was volunteered by someone who just gave it to us out of gratitude on either Patreon, PayPal, or Venmo. And for that reason, I'm really thankful for all those people that support us and have supported us over the years. We get about $50 a month right now from people. And it's just so cool to me. I would so much rather have that, assuming we have enough money to just pay for our own food, knowing that people are just kind of like volunteering it. We hope to keep this platform completely advertisement free just because it feels manipulative for us and sneaky to get money that way, and I don't really like it. We recently made an announcement on our podcast that we were going to be done with Patreon, and what happened was I went on the Patreon to get all the addresses for all the people that have supported us to send them postcards during the Appalachian Trail, and I was actually just like blown away by how many people were on there. So I decided I'm not going to cancel the Patreon account. I'm just going to not include the link anymore in the videos so that hopefully we don't get any new Patreons or patrons. I would rather support the relationship than, I'm having some issues with the platform in terms of the morality there with how they're treating people, so I didn't really want to support the platform anymore. But if you do want to support us or this show, you can do it through, there's a Venmo or a PayPal link, and it's like no pressure or obligation. It's just there if you want to use it.
Yep.
All right, well, 20,000 subscribers. When do we have to have the next one of these videos? Maybe like 50?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to do another one to 50, which I'm kind of glad because I hate these. Okay. Since you've been good, I'll give you guys front row tickets to the little concert.
And I yelled and I'm crying and I was crying. Yelder and Dada put me up in the stairs, and then you put me in my bed, and Mama, Tom, and get me.
It's Ben and I's date night. We're going on a date.
Now that we're in the car, we actually have no idea where we want to go. I want to go someplace fancy tonight. Normally we just get burgers like every single week. I could go for sushi, Brazilian steakhouse, fancy pasta, Asian.
Let's do fancy pasta.
Like soda or brio?
Let's do brio because we haven't done that in a long time.
They like grate the Parmesan for you here, and I always tell them to stop before I really get enough, just because it starts to feel so awkward after like 30 seconds of them grating over my plate.
Dinner was good. Yummy pasta. Don't want to go home yet. So we're gonna go to a coffee shop and have some coffee.
So there's all these notes on the wall in here, and that one right there
It's naughty.
because I wrote it about our afternoon time.
It's naughty and it's nice.
We had a pretty good date, I would say.
Yeah. Went to a restaurant we hadn't been to in a really long time. And it was good.
My pasta dish was $10 and Cammy's was $17. It didn't even have like shrimp or anything.
It wasn't even that much better, yeah. Oh.
So we are getting ready to record our podcast, episode 23. And it's crazy. We were talking today that it's like we're starting all over in terms of subscribers. Like we just crossed 500. But in a way, I'm really excited about the podcast. It's still hard work, like coming up with topics and developing confidence and things like that. I feel like a lot of the people that are listening to our podcast, it's just like a more in-depth conversation.
In some ways, it's starting from ground zero, and in some ways, it's not quite that. Because
it's like apples and oranges.
Yeah.
So, if that is of interest to you, to go deeper, it's just like a conversation that Cammy and I have every week. I release them every Monday. And tonight, what we're talking about is this letter. I think I posted it on Fight for Together's Facebook page, but it's about a dad asking a therapist what he should do since his daughter hasn't talked to him for 25 years, and how to apologize to your kids. So we are going to be talking about that, and smoking a cigar, trying to wind down a little bit. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
A lot of people ask why we smoke cigars. Because we like them. That's it.
We live in Kentucky. Did you know that?
Okay.
I mean, we still have computers and stuff, but it's a little different here. We don't...
This is the Wild West.
There's not even
Wild
like really
Midwest.
recycling.
Anyways.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.